Hey guys, it's me Raymond, and I am back today to bring you a doll review. And today, actually, yesterday, I didn't have time to record, so forgive me, but um, actually celebrates 10 years of my YouTube channel. Now, granted, I created the account 10 years ago. I haven't been uploading stuff, I think I've only been uploading stuff for maybe 8 years. But still, it's something to celebrate. I actually remember the day that I made my account. I actually made it the same day as my MySpace account, which is really funny to think about. So yeah, so I just thought that I would, talk about um, my personal story about dolls and what inspired me to get into YouTube. So. And then I have a doll review at the end that is a really special doll to me, and I'll tell you why when we get there. But so when I was little, I was always interested in dolls. I always loved dolls. I had older sisters, and they always had dolls with them. So, and they were my sister, that's just older than me. She's 8 years older than me. She always was really into Barbie, so I remember her having a ton of dolls, and pretty much all the dolls that I've talked about, like, oh, my sister had them, they were most likely hers because she always was into Barbie, whereas my other older sister wasn't as much into Barbie. So she played, but she was more into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sort of stuff. Like, she was more of a tomboy. So yeah, I always was just into dolls, and I remember there are a lot of pictures of me. Maybe I'll insert them here, where I am washing dolls' hair in a bucket, or I'm in a swimming pool with them, or I just had dolls with me all the time. We used to go on walks, and I'd take a doll with me. We used to go on picnics, I'd take a doll with me. We used to go to ball games, I'd take a doll with me. I actually had an Angelica doll, like the little ones that came out. I know it's not Barbie, but I carried her around. She was basically my Cynthia. So I was a huge Rugrats fan as a kid. So I just think that's funny. But anyway, I was always into dolls. And about the time I turned maybe 5 or so, I wasn't allowed to play with dolls anymore. It was becoming a problem. My family was fearing that I would be made fun of, and that I wouldn't fit in, and so I wasn't allowed to play with dolls anymore. And I refer to this as my dark period. It lasted about 2 years, maybe a little more. It was hard. I remember I used to play dolls at my grandma's house all the time, because by the time I was 5, my sisters are both like 10 years older than me, like I just said. So, so they had already gotten rid of like most of their doll stuff. We didn't really have dolls like laying around anymore. So I would go to my Grammy's house and I would play with dolls, and I wasn't allowed to do that anymore. But I used to make like clothes for them out of like socks, and I guess in one instance, which I don't remember, I was like 3 or 4. I made clothes out of grass at a ball game. So yeah. um, but get out of here. Eventually, we got some like neighbors, and they all they were like all girls, and I was friends with like all of them. So they just started bringing dolls around, and before I knew it, that whole rule was no more, and I was getting dolls and playing with dolls all the time. So now I'm not gonna say that there wasn't problems with that. There was a lot of hard times that I don't necessarily want to go into. I'll just kind of give you guys I'm sure that this is a pretty typical story for a lot of people that may be watching this, because I know I have a lot of viewers that are boys that collect dolls. So I'm sure a lot of you grew up liking dolls, and maybe had family members or people in your life, like peers, that just were not nice about it. There was a kid that used to, this was 3rd grade, and I've mentioned this kind of briefly before, but there were actually 2 kids that used to make school really hard, and they actually lived around me. So whenever they would like see me around, it was no good. And actually, one of their dads threw in his hat into the conversation and said some things that I don't want to say, but he did say some things to me as like a 9-year-old kid that were completely inappropriate, and used, derogatory terms that I don't want to say. You guys know what I'm talking about. So it was really hard. Not only that people my age were making fun of me, but people that are adults were making fun of me. So yeah, I was really ashamed of having dolls for a long time. But I didn't let it get me down. And eventually I just, I kind of just grew up, and I was in middle school and I stopped playing with dolls. I think I was in 7th grade or so. I was way older than I was probably in 6th grade. So I was a little older than I probably, should have been. But about the time that I started thinking about boys was the time I gave up dolls. So yeah. But I love dolls. I did. I always loved them. So I don't know. And then eventually, it wasn't long after that I started making doll horror movies on here. Because I used to love making horror movies with my friends, but I was really bossy. And they didn't like it. They didn't like making movies with me. So I thought, well, I'll just go around them and I'll do it myself. So I pulled my dolls out of the basement and I started making movies with them. And basically I made a channel and I started uploading videos, and I had no idea what copyright was. I was like 14, maybe 13, 14. I had no idea what copyright was. I had no idea that I could get in trouble for posting other people's music and songs. And a lot of my early videos says they're from Universal Studios films. So, what? What was I doing? I don't know. So, I'm so weird. Anyway, so yeah, but all of those are viewable if you really want to subject yourself to that. But eventually I kind of started to drift away from making films and all that sort of thing. I don't know, I started to be more of a teenager, I guess, and focus on people that now I see weren't worth my time, whether that be friends or boys or whatever. So, just normal life stuff. And eventually, I didn't post anything on my channel for a very long time. I don't know, I kind of just stopped for a little bit. And then one day I was at the flea market and I happened to see a doll. And that doll is Magic Moves Barbie. She was in I just saw like a nice silver box. It wasn't really nice, but just really bright silver and pink box. And it was like $15, and she was in there, but she wasn't like attached to the cardboard still. She was loose in the box, but it looked like all of her accessories were there. She was still wearing her outfit. So I passed her up that first time I saw her, and then a few weeks later I went in and she was still there. So I decided, what the hell, I'll just buy her, So I did. And that is what I credit me starting my collection. Now, I did have stuff before that for my movies and things that people had given me for my films, and I love dolls. I liked having them. I had them all out, but I didn't necessarily like actively go out and buy dolls all the time. I just didn't do that. I didn't put a lot of money into it. A lot of people honestly just donated stuff that they had sitting around so that I could make movies, because they knew that was really cool and they liked it. So shout out to you, Mrs. Baker. Anyway, I don't know. I fell in love with this doll and I felt really bad for her. And then after that, it just kind of picked up from there. I began, posting in the Barbie collector forum things, and meeting people that do reviews. I began watching a lot of reviews. I watched QP83, Barbie Zero, whatever, her mom, you know, she's really cool. I absolutely love their videos together. And Ran, I love your videos. Obviously my Froggy stuff, I've been watching her for years. There are a lot of you that I really, really love your videos. Sally Hearts Jackie. Who's another one that I watch a lot? 1,000 Splendid Dolls. I love a lot of your guys' videos. So, and I credit all of you for inspiring me to start reviewing, because I love dolls, and I felt like a lot of reviewers maybe don't show all the accessories, or they, you know, a lot of current reviewers, I felt like they were doing a lot of modern dolls. So I thought, well, I'll just do older ones. And I have a lot of them, and I'll do play sets. I don't see a lot of people reviewing play sets. So, so that was why I started this. And I talked to Ran, and he encouraged me to do this. And I thought, you know, what the heck, I can do it. What have I got to lose? So I posted my Nurse Whitney review almost a year ago, and I was so awkward in that video, and I made a lot of really funny jokes. Funny jokes. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm throwing this in there, like you guys care about my life. But anyway, a lot of you are really great people, and I never expected to have people watch my videos. I always thought that, well, I maybe watch them, but not like comment on them and like want to talk to me and be my friend. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. It's a really weird experience, but it's really awesome. And I just want to say that if you want to do these videos, like if you want to like do reviews or whatever, do it. Just do it, because it's not a big deal. I'm really outgoing, but I'm super camera shy, and I'm really awkward. I'm just a super awkward person. I have word vomit. I've been talking for 14 minutes about nothing. So, yeah, and I say and yeah a lot too. Shade to whoever out there. Anyway, so yeah, just do it. Take a chance. You honestly you get better, you get more comfortable in front of the camera, and then you realize that people that are watching you, usually 9 out of 10 times are there because they like you and they want to watch your videos. I have a lot of, I cannot thank all of you guys by name personally, but I mean, if I've talked to you and I try to comment to everyone, I really appreciate all of you guys watching these videos, because really it's just me sitting in my bathroom talking about Barbies. I mean, it's nothing. I'm not fancy. I use Windows Movie Maker to edit these videos. Okay, guys, I'm recording on my phone. Okay, I'm not normal. I'm not like a huge thing, and to have people in the community like embrace me, it's really awesome. It's just a really cool feeling. So so I thank you guys, and to another 10 years of YouTube, hopefully, unless the policies keep getting ridiculous. So, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. But anyway, without further ado, the doll that started it all to me, Magic Moves Barbie. So this doll is really special to me, as I've mentioned. I don't think that I would have my collection without this doll, and I have her to thank for it. I named her Debbie because I absolutely love the name Debbie. I don't know if you guys my age remember the Amanda show on Nickelodeon from the early 2000s, but I love that show, and Debbie, who liked eggs in the girls' room skit, was my absolute, like, everything I wanted to be. So I named her Debbie after her because I love the name Debbie. If I have a child, I want to name her Debbie. So I just feel like every Debbie I've ever met, I absolutely adore. Like, I just love all Debbies. So I named her Debbie. So this doll is really awesome. She has a gimmick because it's the 80s, and that's what they did a lot through the mid 80s. They had a lot of gimmicks for their dolls, whether it's like a moving part or a magic barrette or, you know, whatever. So there are a lot of dolls like that. So this doll is no exception. I'm going to take off her cape so I can show you guys. So she has a switch on the back, and that is how you can easily identify this doll. So she has a switch on her back, and she does exactly what her name says. When you press it down, she magically moves. Now her arms weren't close to her face, so she didn't do her little thing that she does. Okay, so, I mean, it's a little better. So that's what she does in a nutshell. She just moves her arms back and kind of caresses her hair. She's really beautiful. She is like totally normal 80s Barbie. She looks pretty much like every other one that you can find anywhere from that time. But I think that Barbie was her prettiest in the 80s. And I know a lot of you might disagree with me there, but I think Barbie was really spectacular. And I'm not a huge, like, I don't love Barbie. If it's between Barbie and like Whitney, I would go for Whitney every day of the week. I just love Barbie's friends more, and I'm so partial to the stuffy face that it's ridiculous. But Barbie was really beautiful back in the day. She was super gorgeous. Like, I just don't know what it is about her face. She just encompasses like all things that were beautiful. She has like a little button nose and like beautiful blue eyes and nice eyebrows and nice eyelashes and cute lips and dimples. She was just so pretty. And I wish that they would use this face again because it's just so Barbie. This is the face I think of when I think of Barbie. And I know for a lot of you that is the same. So I don't know, she's just really gorgeous. So when I got her, actually, she had like rubber band in her hair. Like she must have been taken out and displayed by somebody. I don't know who I bought her from. I know a lot of the vendors at that flea market, and I'm not sure which one had her, but so she had rubber band in her hair, and it actually ruined her little cape, which is sad and unfortunate. But I did get the rubber band out of her hair, and that was when I learned that dolls, just because they're in the box, just because they're mint, does not mean anything. And well, she wasn't mint, but she was pretty close to it. But what was really concerning me was that her head was really pushed down. So I feel like my doll has a very wide face compared to a lot of the other ones because her head was like smushed in the box. But I think it gives her a cute look. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I feel like they all pretty much look alike. But I feel like mine looks different than a lot of the ones that I've seen. So, I don't know. But, so her outfit is this really, like, beautiful, just night kind of outfit. It kind of reminds me of winter. It's really beautiful. It's like, got this, what is that called? I can't think of what that's called. Iridescent, yeah. It's got like an iridescent top. It's like a bodysuit thing. It's like a top and like a onesie sort of thing. And it's kind of gotten purple and like pink and green kind of shining through it. You can't really pick that up as much on camera. There we go. But it's really beautiful in person. And then she has like a silver neckline and a like a choker, which is really flattering, I think. And then a belt that matches. And the belt is detachable, and in the skirt it also comes off as well. So it's a lot of separate pieces, so you can, I mean, not a lot of mixing and matching, but you can mix and match the look. She has the Barbie heels, and this is like the year before they changed the mold to the one that a lot of people know and love, the like big chunky Daisy Duck looking ones. And her feet are like the newer ones of that time. They're the feet that are larger and not as detailed. So the shoes are honestly a little hard to get on there. And I feel like one of her feet are like kind of pudgier. No offense, Debbie. She also has the typical like earrings and ring from the time that Superstar jewelry, as it's normally called. So yeah, I don't know. And her arms are like a harder plastic than usual, and you can't move them back a certain way. Let me see if I remember how to. So if you lock this back, then her one arm just goes up. Usually, let me try that again. I forget how it is. Maybe it's this arm. I know it's one of her arms. If you lock it back, the other one will go up. Yeah, there we go. So that's kind of interesting, but you can't like wind it around, and she cannot go in water. So if you're planning on taking her to the beach with you or something, she cannot do that. So let me show you her little accessories. I don't know where her hair dryer is. I have it somewhere. Usually it is in my Sweet Roses vanity set, but I cannot find it. So for now, I'm just going to show you her little comb that she came with. And it has a little piece that you can slip on her hand so that she can hold it and comb through her hair. I've not had any luck getting her to do that herself, but if you would like to try it, be my guest. Be my guest, be my guest. Okay, so here is a brush that's basically the same thing. Kind of reminds me of a dog brush, if you want me to be completely honest with you, or like a horse brush, because it just looks like you slip it on your hand and you like, or I could slip it on her feet and she could be like Pippi Longstocking, like scrubbing day, you know? You guys know what I'm talking about? Then we have just a normal brush. This was the one that they used in the early 80s until they did like the seashell looking one. Then she has a lot of little press outs, and they were already all pressed out when I got her. So this is her little address book, and it has a bee on it. This is a newspaper. Here is Barbie magazine with her beautiful face on it. And then it came with a collection of stills because she is a model, of course. And I think it's funny though that the outfit is like super more detailed in these photos than it really is. Like that neckline is sequins. So I kind of don't like that. I feel like they should have made it actually look like the doll, but you know, it is what it is. And the doll has on white shoes, it looks like in these photos, rather than blue. And then there's like a portfolio to carry it all in. And then there is a little makeup compact. Well, not little, it's actually really big. And I also have that sitting on my my Sweet Roses vanity too. And I'm going to show you her box that totally caught my eye when I got her. Because it's like really silver. And actually she was like the oldest doll there. There were a lot of dolls from like 98, 97, 99. A lot of from around then, but there were none from the 80s or even the early 90s. Just her. So it was really strange. And I don't find a lot of 80s Barbies around where I live. It's a lot of like, I don't know, like the Easter ones from the 90s. There's just a lot of like holiday ones, stuff like that. And there's barely any play line that I ever find, especially in my like immediate area. It's a lucky day when you find one. So I was really fortunate to get this. But so there is just a lot of little like cool pictures on her box, like all the way around. I'll show you in a second. But look, she moves all by herself. And they're pretty much right. You just have to flip a switch. And there's no batteries or anything. It just does it. It's really interesting. And you don't really see them do stuff like that anymore. Everything is like batteries required, or I don't know. It's just weird that they don't ever do stuff like that. So there is her dryer that I cannot find, but I know I have it. It's somewhere. But I think these are a lot of like really lovely photos, and it gave me a lot of photo ideas for her. It says she dries her hair. She really moves like a glamorous superstar. She wears her cape so many ways. Push the switch, she moves. She brushes her hair. They made that look a lot better than I described it. She doesn't quite look like a horse. But yeah, so, and this is when it said everything that she has. doll, glimmery bodysuit, long skirt, glittery belt, change around cape, trimmed in fur. Jewelry, shoes, hair dryer, 2 brushes, comb, and these package press outs. Makeup case, magazine, newspaper, portfolio, 3 photos of Barbie, and address book. Mattel Inc. 1985. So there we go. And she was $6 from Meyer back in the day. It's crazy. Okay, so obviously my final thoughts on Magic Moves Barbie are really positive. I absolutely love this doll. If you don't have her in your collection, you should have her in your collection. Go out and get her today. Save her from her box because her cape is just getting ruined in it right now as we speak. So, and thank you guys for listening to my story and all of that nonsense. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos, like I said, and it really means a lot to me. It really does. And I hope that, like I said, there are 10 more years of YouTube or whatever. So if you haven't already, you should follow me on Instagram at Raytheunusual. And I also have a Facebook page that is, I think, Gizardofmars, I'm pretty sure. So, and I'm on Twitter also as Raytheunusual. So if you haven't already followed me, I update my Instagram like every day. I'm always posting stuff, so feel free to do that. And hit the little bell icon down below if you want to see when I upload, because it's very sporadic. Sorry. But I will try to do my best to upload more videos for you guys. And until next time, take care. Have a good day, guys. Bye.